Never watch it, but hey, it goes straight to the channel so that we don't have to do a what do you call it, a separate upload or anything like that. So, all right, let's get into it. So I was saying the Most High always raises up somebody or some people in order to defend his name, right? Because, contrary to popular opinion, contrary to Christianity especially, God don't deal with vain and light persons, right? Following the Most High is a very serious is very serious business. Never watch it, but hey, it goes straight to
Sorry,
the
guys.
channel so that we don't have to do a what do you
Sorry
call it?
about that.
Yeah, following the Most High is not light work, right? Following the Most High is is very serious business, man. And for far too long in our nation, it's been a joke, you know. That's what got us in this a bad situation in the first place, man. Taking the Most High uh uh favor for a joke, right? So today, I'ma try to call out those who are taking the Most High's thing for a joke, but more importantly, give you guys tools to be able to recognize when you yourself is taking the Most High thing for a joke, when your leader is taking your so-called leader is taking the Most High thing for a joke, so that you can save yourself from the destruction that wicked shepherds bring upon the people, right? So, without further ado, let's go to Matthew 23, and we'll read from 8 to 11 to see the Most High's leadership standards. So, the first thing we're going to do is check out the Most High leadership standards. Then we're going to start checking out how wicked leaders move, so that you will be able to recognize wicked leaders and take yourself out from around them, as the Most High said, right? Matthew 23 from 8 to 11. Now, Brother Chris, are you able to read or no?
Yes, I'm able to read.
All right, and everyone can see the screen. You guys can see the screen. It's fine. Brother Chris, are you able to see the screen or?
Yes, I can see the screen.
All right, and is my camera on there as well or no?
I see you in like the side panel. Yes, your camera is on.
Okay. All right, that's perfect. Okay, that's great. All right, so let's read from verse 8 to verse 11 in Matthew 23.
Okay, this is Matthew 23 and verse number 8. But be not ye called rabbi, for one is your master, even Christ, and all ye are brethren. And
So wait,
call
wait,
no
hold on,
man.
hold on, hold on, hold on. It says, "Be not called master, for so rabbi, for one is your master, even Christ, and we are all what?
Brethren.
We're all brothers, man, brothers and sisters. That's what's going on here, man. Not masters and lords and servants, man. And chiefs and officers and bishops and Lord knows what else, man. You know, wait till we reach to the explanation biblically of these terms. You're gonna wonder, like, why are people using these terms and yet not living up to those terms, right? Go ahead.
Verse number 9. And call no man your father upon the earth, for one is your father, which is in heaven.
So that already kills Catholicism completely. Go ahead.
Neither be ye called master, for one
Hmm.
is your master, even Christ.
Right, right. Now I kind of want to look at this because this is really interesting. I kind of want to look at this in the Greek, right? Right. We go from 8. You, however, not shall be called rabbi. Okay, that's plain rabbi. One a of sorry for one is of you the didaskalos. Okay, the teacher, the master, the instructor. You hear that? One is your teacher, your master, your instructor. All now of you are, all now you, all now you brothers are. So you're all brothers, okay? Adelphoi. And father, no one called, so on and so forth. Neither be called Kathy Jitai, a leader, a teacher, a guide, a master. All right. A leader, a teacher, a guide, a master. Now we're not gonna go extreme and be like, yeah, don't call nobody teacher, don't call nobody leader, that sort of thing. What this is saying, beware of these titles being sought, all right, to kind of give yourself rank over people. Neither be called what instructors, and the scriptures are going to explain why it's telling you don't be called an instructor, a teacher, a leader, a master, right? It's going to explain exactly what it means by that, right? It says since the instructor, the cathigetes, okay, or instructor, the guide, the teacher, the master of you one is one, the Christ, okay, the Messiah, all right, the anointed one, okay, all right. Now, go, you keep reading, brother Chris.
Verse number 11. But he that is greatest among you shall be your servant.
He that is greatest among you shall be your what?
Your servant.
Right. And let me go into Greek here. The greatest among you will be your diakonos, right? The teacher is where is it here? 1 second. The teacher is didaskalos, right? That's the teacher, the master, the instructor. But the great one among you will be the diakonos, the servant, all right? The waiter, it says here, a waiter family, right? Now, these leaders in Israel, have they been waiters? Have they been servants, man? Have they been foot washers? Or have they been lords? Ask yourself the honest question and give yourself the honest answer. They have been lords, right? Let's see. Is that all we wanted there? 11. Go ahead. Yeah, that's all we wanted, right? The greatest among you shall be your servant, man. Your servant, right? And if we look into this word, I'm pretty sure it says slave here as well. Don't quote me on that. Diakonos helps word study. Diakonos from dia, meaning thoroughly, and konis, dust. Thoroughly dust. The greatest among you shall be thoroughly dust. Properly, thoroughly raising up dust by moving in a hurry, and so to do what? Minister, right? Uh, let's see here. There's some other stuff I wanted here. Okay, we'll get to it later. Let me hold on. Let's see if it's here because it's lower in the study as well for sure. Right here, this scholar says, "Hey, the meaning is not what everyone says where they say raising dust by hastening." Watch this, right? Uh, he says he thinks it's derived from the obsolete diako, equivalent to dinko, one who executes the commands of another, especially of a master. So the great one among you is the one that's executing the commands of a master, the one master, Yahweh Shai, right? A sergeant, an attendant, okay, which I believe is the more correct translation, a minister. All right. So it's not somebody above you, man. It's somebody below you in service, even though they may be above you in title, in attitude, in service, they are beneath you, right? Okay, let's go to Mark 10 and we'll read I guess that's supposed to be 22. So let's go to Mark 10. Let's go to Mark 10. All right. And that's weird. Okay, 1 second. Maybe yes. All right, 42. 42 to 45.
This is the book of Mark, chapter 10, and verse number 42. But Yahushua called them to him and saith unto them, you know that they which are accounted to rule over the Gentiles exercise lordship over them, and their great ones exercise authority upon them.
Right? So hold on a second. So that's how the Gentiles move, right? They which are accounted to rule over the Gentiles, they exercise lordship over them, right? Go ahead.
But so shall it not be among you.
So
But
among Israel, we're not doing the lordship thing. That's what the Most High says, man. I didn't make that up. We're not organizing lords over people, man. That's just not what we're doing, right? Go ahead.
but whosoever will be great among you shall be your minister.
Again, that goes back to your servant. The great one is supposed to be the servant, right? I'll go in the Greek. It says, having called near them, Yahushua says to them, you know that those being accounted to rule over the Gentiles exercise lordship over them. All right. It says here, the word is katakir u katakiriu usin. All right. Uh, let's see. Exercise authority, overpower, master. Listen to this. Control. Those ruling over the Gentiles exercise control over them. They subjugate them. That's what the Gentiles do. And the Most High said, we supposed to do that? No. He said, hey, it shall not be. Right? So among Israel, man. Instead, not kind of half lord over people and half not lord over people. The Most I say no. Instead of having people controlling you, that are subjugating you, whoever desire to be great uh among you will be your, as the diakonos word again. They want to be great, they have to be your servant, man. They gotta attend to your needs, help you out, build you up, man. Be in your corner, right? That's who's great, right? Let's see here. Okay. So, according to the Most High leadership standards, leaders must be servants. Must be servants. There's not a choice in it, right? What else he say? Leaders must be humble, right? Let's go to Sirach 3 and verse 18.
Sirach 3 and verse number 18. The greater thou art, more humble thyself, and thou shalt find favor before the Lord.
So the greatest person in a crowd of people, of Israelites, should be the most humble guy. Let's now start bringing things forth, right? The greatest person supposed to be the most humble in the crowd of Israelites. Is it humble to come to Passover on a horse, man, when everybody else walked in normal? Speak up, family. Is it humble to come to pass over on a horse when everybody else walked in?
No.
No.
No, no, it's not. That's the opposite of humble,
Yeah,
you
it's
know?
like he's exalting himself above everybody else.
You literally came in on a horse, right? Which not even when Yahushua rode in a place. This is the king, the prince of the universe. The man used a donkey,
Khan.
right? The man used a donkey, man, and his disciples just threw some clothes on the donkey, fam, and dashed their clothes and palm trees on the floor, man. No extravagance. Is the man come like he was the king of the paupers, basically? Just a ragtag bunch. They throw things together, man. And that was the prince of the universe, family, right? Let's keep going, right? So a leader must be humble, right? And don't get it twisted. I'm not just addressing Nathaniel, right? Because there's many other leaders in Israel that move in arrogance and pride, right? And not in humility, right? This is just an example because it was a very public example. I have others as well, which I'm gonna pull up, right? So it's not about Nathaniel. It's about the wrong spirit, an evil spirit going through Israel, an evil spirit of pride and arrogance, you know, passed on from the previous generation of our Israelite leaders. Since we awoke, since we woke up, or the Most High woke us up, there's a certain evil spirit of pride and arrogance that has come from the camps down to this time. But the Most High say no more, because that's not what it's about, you know. And the Most High always cleaning up his house, man. It's just like you have a house, it's gonna get dirty over time. You have all this, you have these things here, those things there, people coming in, people leaving. Some people are wicked, some people are righteous. You gotta clean up house every once in a while, right? And my hope and my prayer is that this message will help to clean up house, man, right? It will help people to look at themselves and do something different. And it will help the just regular Israelites, the sheep, to be able to recognize when they're being duped and to get the hell out of there, you know? Okay, so let's go with Numbers 12. Leaders must be humble. Numbers 12, and I will read verse 3.
The book of Numbers, chapter 12. You said verse number 8?
3, please.
3? Sorry about that. This is the book of Numbers, chapter 12, starting from verse 3. Now the man Moses was very meek above all the men which were upon the face of the earth.
That's it. Before Yahweh Shai, there was Moses. That's it. Everybody was following. They call it the laws of Moses. It's Yahweh's laws, but that's to show you how great Moses was. And Moses said, "Hey, they're gonna come a prophet after me." How far after Moses was Yahweh Shai? A great distance. You're trying to tell me there were not great men before that? Of course, there were great men before that. But this shows you the height of greatness of Moses. Not many are mentioned along Yahweh Shai, but Moses is in the same sentence. Moses, Elijah. There's only a few. Yahweh Shai, man. You know? But it says Moses was very meek, meaning very humble. He was more humble than all the men on the face of the earth. That's how humble Moses was when Moses was walking, man. God gave this man, give me a second. God gave this man power to open the Red Sea. Hold on, family. And the man responded by being the most humble man on earth. That's a great man, that's a great man, right? Right. What does the Most High say? Pardon me, fam. It's just real, man. What else? What else? The Most High say leaders must be loving, right? Let's go to First Corinthians 13, right? First Corinthians 13, right? And we'll read verse, hold on, from verse 1, right? And yeah, we'll read verse 1 and 2, and then we have a couple other things we're gonna look at in here. All right, so give me First Corinthians 13.
First Corinthians chapter 13, starting at verse 1. Though I speak with the tongues of men and of angels, and have not charity, I am become as sounding brass, or a tinkling cymbal. And though I have the gift of prophecy and understanding all mysteries and all knowledge, and though I have all faith so that I could remove mountains and have not charity, I am nothing.
That's it, right? So and of course, this charity is the word agape, which means love, man. That's the principal thing. And I've said this a cajillion times. Preach it, right? The principal thing is love, man. You know, he says, you're nothing, man, without the spirit of love, right? Right? Um, read on.
Verse number 3. And though I bestow all my goods to feed the poor, and though I give my body to be burned, and have not charity, it profiteth me nothing.
A prophet of what?
It profiteth me nothing.
So there's no profit in you know, burning up your body, giving all your goods to the poor, doing all these deeds without love is love for your people is of no benefit to you. You might as well go and just be wicked, man. That is serious, right? You gotta have a genuine love for your people, right? Uh, let's see here. Okay, so I want to make sure that we look here at some of these descriptions, right? That it give you of love, man. So read on,
Verse number
nice and
4.
slow, because I'm gonna break it down, right?
Okay. Love suffereth long
Hmm.
and is kind.
Right?
Love envieth not.
Hmm.
Love vaunteth not itself,
Hmm.
is not puffed up.
Okay, so stop right there. So love suffers long, right? It has a lot of patience. It's kind, man, right? So the standard of the Most High is for you know, the shepherds of his people to be kind, man, to be very patient, right? To not be envious of people, right? It says, vaunteth not itself is not puffed up. Puffed up mean proud. Vaunteth not itself, we're gonna look into, right? And all that says means vaunteth not itself is that it's not boastful, Let's see if we can, where is it there? Let's see if we can, oh, there we go. 1 Corinthians 13:4, right? Vaunteth not itself, all right? The word here is uh per ru rumo per purperumai, to boast. All right. So it's not a show off, man. It's not a bragger. It's not boastful, right? Have we seen boastfulness and these kind of things amongst leaders in Israel, right? That's not a good sign. That's falling short of the standard that the Most High set for leaders, right? Puffeth not, right? We got that here. To puff, to blow up, right? According to 1 Corinthians 4 and sorry, oh, 1 second. 13:4, there we go. Yeah, right here, 13:4. It's not puffed up. Okay. What's this word here? This word is fusio. Fusio. Or fusio, sorry. Right? Inflate, puff up, right? Arrogant. It's not arrogant, man. It's not proud, right? Um, what do we have here? To inflate, blow up, cause to swell up, puff up, make proud. Okay. And we got precepts on that, right? So it's not puffed up, meaning it's not proud, man. It's not haughty, right? What else we got here?
Verse number 5. Does not behave itself unseemly, seeketh not her own, is not easily provoked, thinketh no evil.
All right, so I just want to touch a couple parts of that. It says, does not behave itself unseemly. Does not behave itself unseemly. All right. What is that? Right? Does not behave itself unseemly. The word is askemoneo, all right, which also means indecent, man, right? Ashkemoneo doth not behave itself unseemly. Here's the word, ashkemoneo. All right, let's go into that, right? Deformed of a of a bald man, it says. Now that doesn't mean when you're bald you're evil. Otherwise, I'd be wicked. To act unbecomingly. You see that? Right? Contextually, to prepare disgrace. All right. So you don't want to act in an unbecoming manner, right? Now, I think I had something else on this here. There we go. Yep, okay. So if you notice here in 1 Corinthians 7:36, it says, if any man think that he behave himself uncomely, it's the same word, toward his virgin, meaning his young woman, if she passed the flower of her age, that means if she's at least 20 years old, and need so require, let him do what he will, he sinneth not, let them marry. So what does it mean to act in an unbecoming way? It says love doesn't do that. If you're acting in an unbecoming way, you're acting in a way that's uh, a perverted, man. You can't act in a perverted manner as a leader of the Most High. As his standard said, you have to be clean. You can't be a diddler, a child abuser. You can't be preying a young gal below the age of marriage biblically. I'm not talking about Esau, because Esau say from you're 16, you're good. You know, the Trinidadians say after 12 is lunch. Madness, you know. But the Most High say, hey, she have to pass the flower of her age, which means she got to be an adult, man. So don't act in an unseeming manner. What's unseeming? You're preying people's wives, preying young girl, right? That hasn't reached marriage age, you know, preying man, you know, to lie down with them, right? Watching porn, you know, making unwanted and indecent advances. And the list goes on. I'm sure you guys can think of a couple of things as well, you know. So the Most High said, hey, listen, man, you are not to act in an unseeming manner. That's not love, man. Now, that sounds obvious, but it happens in Israel. People do these things and it's nothing. It don't get called out. Or if it get called out, it don't get, there's no, the person makes no atonement. It's insane. You know, some people don't repent and they just stay in the congregation, right? That's substandard. And the Most High's congregation is not to be run in such a way. It is to be swept and kept clean. That's why he gave us a method by which to execute judgment. You talk to the person one-on-one, you bring somebody else with you, you bring it to the church, and they don't listen, get rid of them. Simple, nice, clean. Who vex, vex. I did it God's way. You never change. Sorry, goodbye. Right? Because guess what? That's how God's going to do it. When judgment comes, He's going to open them books. And if you didn't pass the test, you didn't pass the test. He's not going to be a respecter of persons. Oh, you led a church of 50,000 people. So, yeah, just let that one in. Let him in the back and give him the VIP booth and the extra bottle of wine, man. It's not going to happen like that. You're going to get paid according to your work, you know, according to the cleanness of your hands. Okay, where we at?
Verse number 6.
Okay, let's go back there. All right, go ahead.
This is 1 Corinthians chapter 13 and verse number 6. Rejoiceth not in iniquity, but rejoiceth in truth, in the truth.
Oh, say that again. Read that again, please.
Rejoiceth not in iniquity, but rejoiceth in the truth.
You see that? Right? Love doesn't rejoice in iniquity, in sin, man. Love rejoices in the truth. That's the most high standard. If you have love in you, right? If you're a leader, you have to rejoice in the truth. The truth might be you're lazy and you need to shape up. That might be the truth. Your attitude is supposed to be, all praises, brother, you know, thanks, man. I'm gonna work on that. You know, the truth might be, hey, you know what, elder, you know, you're using indecent language and it's not, the Most High says don't do that. The leader says, you know what, all praises, brother. Thank you very much, man. I'm gonna work on that. I'm gonna repent. That's rejoicing in the truth, man. Not you, who are you, man? Don't talk to me. You know, not yes, 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 but in your mind, you're like, who the hell is this Nigga? You know? 7.
Beareth all things, believeth all things, hopeth all things, endureth all things.
All right. Now, what does this mean? Right? Love, bear all things, believe all things. Did God say believe all things? Is that a contradiction? Did God say believe all things? Right? This says believe all things, but there's a scripture that says, well,
Prove all
you
things.
you say again?
That says to prove all things.
Exactly. Right? Let me bring that up. So is that a contradiction? What does this mean? right? First Thessalonians chapter 5, 21 on down, it says, prove all things, hold fast to that which is good. So then why does this say believe all things? Any ideas? Any ideas,
Translation error?
family? Say again?
Translation error?
No, nope, nope. Where are you? I'll just say it, right? When you bear all things, believe all things, where can you bear all things, believe all things, and hope? Hope, that word hope is really confidence, trust in, right? Have confidence in all things and endure all things. Well, it's to do with the word. You bear all things in the word, because the Most High say you must bear your iniquity. So you have to bear your iniquity. You know, you got to appreciate the good and the bad, because the Most High send rain on the house of the righteous and the unrighteous. That's what it means, bear all things. Believe all things in the word. Hope in all things, be confident in all things in the word. Endure all things the Most High say you're going to endure. We in slavery right now, it is what it is. You can't do any better. You got to endure till the end to be saved, right?
Khan.
So love bear all things, believe all things, and is confident in all things, and endure all things concerning the word of the Most High, right? Um, what else we got there?
Verse number 8. Love never faileth, but whether there be prophecies, they shall fail. Whether there be tongues, they shall cease. Whether there be knowledge, shall vanish away.
Right, and you can jump down. You can jump down to 13.
Verse number 13. And now abideth faith, hope, love, these three, but the greatest of these is love.
Right, now let's look into this real quick. Now abideth faith, which is pistis. All right, let's pull that up here. There's a couple of these. Right, faith, pistis. Conviction of the truth of anything. All right, well, that's the outline of biblical usage. Let's go into the lexicon, right? Conviction of the truth of anything, belief, faith, conviction, trust, and holy fervor born of faith and conjoined with it. Trust, man, that the Most High will do what he says he's gonna do. The conviction that God exists and is creator and ruler of all things, the provider and bestower of eternal salvation through Christ. And there's precept upon precept for this. Without faith, it's impossible to please the Most High, meaning what? Without trust in the Most High, it's not possible to please him, right? The author and finisher of our faith, right? Hebrews 12:2, right? And considering, let's see here, remember them which have the rule over you, who have spoken unto you what? The word of the Most High, whose faith follow. What is their faith? It's not a pie in the sky concept, man. It's them following the scriptures. You understand? Believing the things that are in the scriptures. Didn't Paul say, I don't believe anything other than what's in the scriptures? And I never taught anything other than what my forefathers taught? Right? So it's like these guys are bringing false accusations against me. I only believe what's in the Bible, man. Right? You're convinced, right? Let's see here. One second. Okay, so that's faith. Wait. Faith, hope. Elpis, right? Look at this. Expectation, right? It says of evil or fear here. That's just, again, the outline of biblical usage. It says here, for the Hebrew word, what is that? bata, and ma bata. What does this say? This says trust, family. Trust. Faith, which is confidence, trust, a hope, which is trust, right? And where's the other one? Where is the other one? And charity, which is love, right? So out of believing what the Most High say, trusting the Most High word, and loving your brothers and sisters, the man said the greatest one was loving your brothers and sisters. I mean, I don't even know what to say to that. That's how important it is to consider the way that we treat one another and the relationship that we have with one another. Our most important relationships are really our relationships with the bruise, man. That's really what's going on out here, right? You have teammates, people in your corner that can help you, man. Help to strengthen you when you're doing good, you know, or challenge you, I should say, to reach even higher when you're doing good. Help to strengthen you when you're weak. Be a brethren, be a sister, chill with. You got people now. When in the world you didn't have nobody, you know. Now watch this. Let's see. Okay, let's look at this charity here. Let's see. You see here, definition one. What is this love that it's talking about? Again, it's not a pie in the sky concept, right? It's concrete. Affection, man. Goodwill. Love, benevolence. What does it mean to be benevolent, man? To give, to show goodwill, to give, whether it be time, gifts, food, right? Prayers, fastings, to give, right? John 15:13, greater love have no man than this, than to lay down his life for his friends. That's not a pie in the sky concept, man. If your brethren about to die and you push him out the way and take a bullet for him, that's love, man. That's very practical, right? He could just let you take the bullet and then bury you and, or rather just let you take the bullet and look at you and say, I loved him so much. And then watch you just bleed out, didn't call the ambulance, nothing. Is that love? That's not love, man. Right? Romans 13:10, love worketh no ill to his neighbor. Love worketh no ill to his neighbor. That's your people. Therefore, love is the fulfilling of the law, right? You're not doing no evil to your brothers and sisters. That's how you know you're a loving person. You're doing good deeds towards them, right? That's the Most High standard, right? The Most High leadership standard includes an absolute commitment to treating his sheep well. Let's go to 1 John 5 and 3. Right? 1 John 5 and 3. Read verse 2 first.
Read verse 5.
Chapter 5 and read verse 2 and verse 3.
The book of 1 John chapter 5, in verse number 2. By this we know that we love the children of Yahweh when we love Yahweh and keep his commandments. For this is the love of Yahweh, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous.
Right. So it tells you two things there. How you know you love the children of the Most High when you love the Most High and you keep the Most High commandments, right? It's an infinite loop, right? And this is how you know you love the children, and how do you know you love him? When you keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous. And it tells you that the fulfilling of the whole law is to love your neighbor as you love yourself, right? So it's an infinite loop that feeds back on itself. You love the children, that shows that you love the Most High. You love the Most High, you keep his commandments. His commandments is that the be all and end all of his commandments is that you love his children. So it just feeds back one on top of the other. You can't say you're doing one and you're not doing the other. Then you become a liar. If you break that chain between keeping the commandments and performing good, having goodwill and affection towards your brothers and sisters, you've lost. Because the Most High say, how could you say you love me, you never seen me, and you hate your brother that you see? God's asking that question sarcastically. He's telling you, you're insane. You've never seen me, but you say you love me. But the people that I gave you that you do see, you hate them, but you love me? You're a damn liar. Right? And that is a great challenge for our people. See, the test is to love one another. That's the test. Right? Despite the mistakes, because love covereth over a multitude of sins. Despite the mistakes, despite not agreeing on everything, can we love one another? Right? That's the standard the Most High said. For the leaders, certainly. Right? The men, principally, first. Right? And everybody else to follow. We all have the same standard. But when the men break this standard, as they often do first, everything falls apart.
Okay, I'm gonna leave now.
Okay, my boy, have a good one. Happy
All
Sabbath.
right, you two have a good Sabbath. Happy
All right.
Sabbath. See
All
ya.
right, my boy. Okay, bye. Um, all right. What else is the Most High standard? Righteous judgment. Let's go to Leviticus 19, 15. So love is the Most High standard. Real love is the Most High standard. What else is the Most High standard? Righteous judgment. And family, if you're not taking notes, get your book and take notes, man, because this lesson is gonna help you. It's gonna help you, man. Like, I'm not gonna preach this twice, really. You understand? And this lesson is gonna help you in so many different situations. It's not even funny. Because one thing that Israel needs to work on is our discernment, right? We're too easily led astray by people that just look nice or sound like they're saying something nice, right? And that's very dangerous, right? You got to know how to discern and see, yo, you know what? This person is practicing wickedness, even though it looks like they got something good going on. You have to be able to make that discernment so you know who to listen to, who not to listen to. You know who's misleading you and when. You know how to discern truth from lies, man. You know where to be and where not to be, you know. Leviticus 19, 15.
This is Leviticus.
Sorry. You know where is safe and you know where is dangerous. Go ahead.
You shall do no unrighteousness in judgment. Thou shalt not respect the person of the poor, nor honor the person of the mighty. But in righteousness shalt thou judge thy neighbor.
You see that? So the Most High say, don't do no unrighteousness in judgment. Don't give anyone preferential treatment when it comes to matters of the law, man. If the poor man is committing adultery, you hold him to the same standard as the rich man committing adultery. If the poor man is a surfetter, you hold him to the same standard as the rich man that's being a surfetter, a surfetter, you know, an overindulger, you know, an extravagant person, boastful showing off, right? Um, so no unrighteousness in judgment. Let's go to 1 Corinthians 5. And we'll read from 9 to 13.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 5 and verse number 9. I wrote unto you in an epistle not to company with fornicators, yet not altogether with the fornicators of this world,
Mm-hmm.
or with the covetous, or extortioners, or with idolaters, for then must ye need go out of the world.
Stop right there. So the Most High is saying, hey, listen, I told you, don't keep company with any fornicators, covetous people, extortioners, or idolaters. And he's like, well, I'm not talking about the people in the world, because if that's what it is, you got to come out for you'd have to leave the world, because he's showing you all there are in the world is covetous people, extortioners, idolaters, fornicators. They're everywhere. So you would have to get out of the world completely to not deal with these people, to not keep company with these people, right? He's saying, no, I'm not talking about these people. Here's the people I'm talking about. Read 11.
But now I have written unto you not to keep company, if any man that is called a brother
If
be a
any
fornicator,
man, if any man,
if any man that is called a brother
mhm,
be a fornicator, or
right,
covetous, or
mhm,
an idolater, or
mhm,
a railer, or a
mhm,
drunkard,
mhm,
or an extortioner, with
mhm.
such and one know not to eat.
Okay, stop right there. So he said, hey, I'm talking about the brothers and sisters. If somebody claim that they're following me and they are fornicators, extortioners, idolaters, and the like, drunkards and the like, don't even eat with these people. Because they're hypocrites, man. Didn't Yahushua get on the hypocrites? Yahushua hates hypocrisy, which means God hates hypocrisy, which means we should also hate hypocrisy, man. Either you're going to walk with the Most High in sincerity and truth, or just don't do it. Go and be in the world. It's a better situation for you. At least you're not pretending. You're not a hypocrite. You're just evil. Satan don't pretend. He's wicked. And that's it. You know, I'm talking about the spiritual demon. He's wicked and he loves his wickedness, and he's on his job more than Israel is on their job doing righteousness. You know, read on.
For what have I to do to judge them also that are without?
Hmm.
Do not ye judge them that are within?
Hmm.
But them that are without God, without Yahweh judge. Therefore, put away from among yourselves that wicked person.
Right. So it's like, I'm not gonna pass any judgment on the people that are not in the congregation of the Most High, because uh they have their own judgment. They have their own judges. But it's them that are within the circle of the Most High, the kingdom of the Most High, we have the responsibility to make righteous judgment against, right? And if they're being hypocrites, the judgment is to put away the wicked person from amongst you, man, right? And it says those that are outside the Most High judge will judge them. But those that are with us, well, we got to make a judgment call. Is this person an unrepentant fornicator, etc.? Well, we can't have this person in the congregation. They got to go, you know? if they have basically trampled upon and failed the entire process from the individual conversation all the way to the conversation with the church. That's how it's done. But I see in Israel a different thing. I see preferential treatment. I see no judgment being placed forth, man. You know, I see people coming and going however they please, regardless of what they've done to the children of the Most High God. And what you're gonna learn is the people that call themselves deacons and bishops and leaders and teachers and all of these things, their responsibility is to protect the people in the congregation from these kinds of situations. That's their responsibility, right? As the servants and the keepers of the sheep, right? And we'll bring that out.
Give me just one moment, okay? Excuse me.
Yep.
1 second.
Thank you. Yeah. So I'm gonna bring out James chapter 2 and verse 6 to 9. James 2 and verse 6 to 9. Right? Remember, we're talking about how the most high standard is righteous judgment, right? Righteous judgments to be put forth. James 2 from verse 6, it says, "But you have despised the poor. Do not rich men oppress you and draw you before the judgment seats? Do not they blaspheme that worthy name by the which ye are called?" So the Most High is saying, hey, isn't it the rich people that oppress you guys? Why are you so impressed by the rich Israelite that's giving all the money but practicing all the wickedness? You know? He says, if you fulfill the royal law according to the scripture, it's a good name, man. The royal law, man. See, in the Bible, this is the royal law. If you fulfill the royal law according to the scripture, thou shalt love thy neighbor as yourself. That's the royal law. Wow. The royal law. I've never heard this used for any other scripture. It says the royal law in the scripture is to love your neighbor as yourself. All right? And he says if you do that, you do well. But if you have respect to persons, here it is. Here's the bomb, Israel. If you have respect to persons, you commit sin. If you are a respecter of persons, you are committing sin, right? And are convinced of the law as transgressors, meaning sinners, man. A respecter of persons is a sinner. That's grave. Do not be a respecter of persons, and do not be in a place where you are expected to be a respecter of persons. That is a place promoting sin. Thus saith Yahweh, not me. What else? According to the Most High standards, leaders must set a good example. Leaders must set a good example. All right, let's go to 2nd Maccabees chapter 6. We're going to read the account of a mighty leader in Israel, man. An old man who was a great example to our nation. Eleazar was his name.
Okay, I'm back.
All right. 2nd Maccabees 6. We're going from 18 down to the end. We're reading the account of Eleazar.
Okay. This is the book of 2nd Maccabees, chapter 6, starting at verse 18. Eleazar, one of the principal scribes, an aged man, and of a well-favored countenance, was constrained to open his mouth and to eat swine's flesh.
Right. So this old man, he was a principal scribe. So when you hear about scribes and Pharisees, remember Paul used to be a Pharisee. And when you hear about scribes, they were not all wicked, man. Some of the scribes and Pharisees came over and started following Yahushua. Those were righteous men, right? Right? They repented from the evil that they were doing and came and practiced righteousness. All praise to the Most High. And this guy Eleazar was one of the head scribes, right? And it says that he was forced to eat swine's flesh. Go on.
But he, choosing rather to die gloriously than to live stained with such an abomination, spit it forth, and came of his own accord to the torment.
Right. So the man's like, yo, I rather die than eat this damn pig. So he spit it out, and right away he stepped forth and said, yo, torture me if you're torturing me. Go ahead.
As it behoves them to come, that are resolute to stand out against such things, as are not lawful for love of life to be tasted.
Go on.
But they that had charge of that wicked feast, for the old acquaintances they had with the man, taking him aside, besought him to bring flesh of his own provision, such as was lawful for him. Such as was lawful for him to use, and make as if he did eat the flesh taken from the sacrifice commanded by the king.
So stop right there. So it's saying certain of these wicked people, certain of these Edomites, they were what do you call it? They because Second Maccabees is about our wars with the Edom, with the Greeks, okay, who are Edomites. They said to him, hey, listen, man, just pretend that you're eating the pig, right? You can get some lamb or beef or whatever. No, everyone's not gonna see, right? Because they're probably in a place where there's a big crowd of people and there's a certain distance between them and whatever's going on. Just eat the sheep, pretend that it's the pig, and you'll be good, right? Go ahead.
That in so doing he might be delivered from death, and for the old friendship with them find favor.
Right.
But he began to consider discreetly, and as became his age, and the excellency of his ancient years, and the honor of his gray head, whereon was come, and his most honest education from a child,
Mm-hmm.
or rather the holy law made and given by Yahweh.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore he answered accordingly, and willed them straightways to send him to the grave.
Right. So the man said, listen, man, my good education, right, of the law, statutes, and commandments of my God and my age, right, and how honorable I've been my whole life, I'm not giving that up for a little bit of life, man, for a couple more days. He's like, man, kill me, man, right? Kill me. Go ahead.
For it becometh not our age, said he, in any wise to dissemble, whereby many young persons might think that Eleazar, being fourscore years old, and 10,
So
were
that's
now
90 years old.
were now gone to a strange religion.
Right. So the brother is saying, hey, listen, man, as an old man, right, it doesn't make any sense for me to go off. I'm 90 years old, right? Do I want the young men, the young persons in Israel to think I went off and started following a strange religion? Me, Eleazar, that everybody look at and know, yo, I've been keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. The young people look up to me. Am I gonna go eat pork just to live a couple years? It's like hell no, right? Go ahead.
Verse 25. And so they, through mine hypocrisy, and desired to live a little time and a moment longer, should be deceived by me. And I get a stain to my old age. and make it abominable.
Come on.
For the present time I should be delivered from the punishment of men, yet should I not escape the hand of the Almighty, neither alive nor dead.
Right. So he's like, hey, listen, even if I escape these guys, God's gonna kill me. Right? Go ahead.
Wherefore now, manfully changing this life, I will show myself such an one as mine age requireth,
Right.
and leave a notable example to such as be young to die willingly and courageously for the honorable and holy laws.
Right. So stop right there. So the man said, listen, man, I'm gonna leave a good example. Yeah, to all the young to die willingly, to die. This is how serious this is. I'm leaving them an example that it is better to die willingly and courageously for our honorable and holy laws. It's good to die willingly and courageously and for our honorable and holy laws, man. The man's like, I'm leaving a good example. That's how I'm gonna go out, right? Go ahead. That's the standard. Eliezer is at the standard that the Most High set, man. Go ahead.
And when he said these words, immediately he went to the torment.
Mm-hmm.
They that led him changing the good will, they bear him a little before into hatred,
Mm-hmm.
because the foresaid speeches as they thought from a desperate mind.
Right.
But when he was ready to die with stripes, he groaned and said, it is manifest unto the Lord that have the holy knowledge, that whereas I might have been delivered from death, I now endure sore pains in body by being beaten.
Mm-hmm.
But in soul am well content to suffer these things, because I fear him.
All praises. Go ahead.
And thus this man died, leaving his death for an example of a notable courage and a memorial of virtue, not only unto young men, but unto all his nation.
Amen. Right. And this happened millennia ago. And the brother is memorialized and immortalized in the book of the Lord, man, because of such a great and an amazing zeal. And this is an elder. This is the type of elder we want, man. This is the type of elder we want in the congregation of the Most High, in the kingdom of the Most High. Not elders that lord power over people and abuse their power, man. Whether it be misleading foolish women. And when I say foolish, I mean women that don't know, naive. Let me say naive women, women that don't know the scriptures, whether it be misleading them or misleading men that don't know the scriptures, right? Whether it be twisting the scriptures, being proud, right? These are not the men that we want in the kingdom. These are not the men that the Most High wants in the kingdom neither. This example here, that's the type of men that he wants, right? They stand up as pillars within the assembly of the Most High, you know, ready and willing, even in their old age, to be beaten to death rather than to transgress the laws of the Most High, you know. Let's look at one more example. Deuteronomy 17, right? Deuteronomy 17. And I think, and we'll read from 14 to 16, to 20, sorry.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 17, and verse number 14. When thou art come unto the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee, and shalt possess it, and shalt dwell therein, and shalt say, I will set a king over me, like as all the nations that are about me. Thou shalt in any wise set him king over thee, whom Yahweh thy Elohim shall choose. One from among thy brethren shalt thou set king over thee.
right?
Thou mayest not set stranger over thee, which is not thy brother.
Right.
But he shall not multiply horses to himself.
Wait. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. It says the king that we set over us shall not multiply horses to himself. Present day horses would be cars, for example, right? Now, I'm not going to talk about these religious leaders, these Christians and these kind of guys, because these guys are just gaudy with it, right? Like they have like garages full of cars, right? Now, they're not kings, but they're rulers over the people, right? So-called shepherds, right? But really, they're devouring the sheep, right? The Most High said, the king shall not multiply horses to himself, right? Go ahead. What else?
Nor cause the people to return to Egypt.
Stop right there. Wait, actually, go ahead. Go ahead and read to the colon.
To the end that he should multiply horses.
Keep reading.
For as much as Yahweh hath said unto you, you shall henceforth return no more that way.
Right. So stop right there. Brother Chris, I don't know. You're sounding a bit muffled on your mic. I don't know what it is. If you can try to fix it, great. I don't know what you're doing different, but it sounds a bit muffled. We can still hear, but it's a little bit muffled.
Okay, I'll try to speak up maybe. Is that any better?
That's a lot better.
Okay, I'll
Yeah,
try to move it
yeah.
closer then.
Okay. So it says here, he shall not multiply horses to himself, right? So, again, horses, the present day horse would be the car. A horse is what? It's a possession. Don't multiply possessions to yourself, right? Nor cause the people to return to Egypt. Egypt is symbolic of the world, man. You understand? Babylon. Don't cause the people to return to Babylon, meaning what? Don't bring in these Babylonian traditions, mindsets, modes of brainwashing, right? In order for you to benefit from the people, right? Don't use these same Babylonian witchcrafts and enchantments to pull the people in for your own personal benefit, right? That's what it means when it says don't cause them to return to Egypt, right? Pull them out of the mindset of the Egyptian, which says the prettier it looks, the better it is. You're supposed to be pulling the people out of that mindset, not reinforcing it, right? With logos, I must speak plainly, with logos and uniforms and branding, man, and marketing. That's not how you're supposed to do it. This is a kingdom. It's not a business, man. It's not a business. It's not a nonprofit. It's the kingdom of the Most High God, right? Um, and then it says, "For as much as Yahweh have said unto you, you shall henceforth return no more that way." Right? James 1:27 says, "Keep yourself unspotted from the world, man." You don't want to look like the world at all. You don't want your men looking, acting, or thinking like worldly people. You don't want the women, the children, nobody, right? Everyone should be holding on to, understanding, and following their fathers, man, in our heritage of being Israelites, man. You know, get some head wraps, you know, some turbans for your sons, some head wraps for your daughters, throw on them fringes with the violet border, the purple border, you know, let the women wear the dresses, you know, let the men get the tunics popping, you know. These are the things we're supposed to be aiming to do, man. Right? Not using the little tricks of the trade we learned from the world to keep deceiving our people, but now in the kingdom. Right? Go ahead. 17.
Verse number 17. Neither shall he multiply wives to himself,
Mhm.
that his heart turn not away.
Right?
Neither shall he greatly multiply to himself silver and gold.
Right. It's not the Most High is not saying don't have wife or wives. The Most High is saying not saying don't have silver and gold. The Most High is saying don't let that be your focus. Do not go and multiply wives to yourself as the king. Now, last time I checked, we were a nation of kings and priests. So no man should be trying to multiply wives unto himself. Now, if the Most High set it where you must receive two wives or whatever, hey, it is what it is. But that's not your focus, right? You neither should your focus be multiplying silver and gold. I'm out here trying to get rich. That should not be the focus of any Israelite, right? Go ahead.
And it shall be, when he sitteth upon the throne of his kingdom, that he shall write him a copy of this law in a book out of that which is before the priests, the Levites.
Right, read on.
And it shall be with him, and he shall read therein all the days of his life, that he may learn to fear Yahweh, his Elohim, his God, to
Mhm.
keep all the words of his law and these statutes, to do them.
To keep some of the words,
All the words.
right? Of the law only or the statutes as well,
All the words of the law and the statutes.
right? To do them, right? That's what makes up our heritage. The laws, the statutes, and the judgments make up our culture. The Most High is saying, keep your culture, man, fully. Don't half-ass it, man. Don't be a halfway crook, you know. You gotta dive in and become a new you. Be born again. Kill the old man. Don't leave him on life support so you can revive him whenever you feel like, or her whenever you feel like, right? And it says, hey, here's what the king's supposed to be occupied in. Not getting wives and silver and gold, but writing a copy of the laws in the book. Now, this is a super cut, right? For the men, because every man is a leader in the Most High's kingdom. Every man is a leader in the Most High's kingdom, right? The Most High say you should be occupied in writing a copy of the book, but some of us don't know the last time we even read our scriptures. This is why I always encourage you guys to go back and study these lessons that I bring up, because I know that it is good for us to be in the Word. We are kings and priests. We're supposed to know this word. That's the standard. That's the Most High standard, right? The king supposed to know the book of the law. The leader supposed to know the book of the law. Now, the women are not escaping. You women are leaders too. Y'all lead the children, and the older women lead the younger women, right? So you guys gotta know the book of the law as well, right? Let's see here. And it shall be with him. Let's see, learn to fear. So why are you reading it? So that you can do the right thing, that he may learn to fear Yahweh, his God, and to keep all the words of this law. If you don't read the book, you can't know the laws in order to keep them, right? That's it, right? And if you don't believe all things, bear all things, you understand what I'm saying? According to what 1 Corinthians 13 is saying, if you don't believe all things and bear all things concerning the book, then you're gonna leave some stuff out because you're like, God's not really gonna kill me for being a fornicator. God's not really gonna kill me for being proud, right? God's not really gonna destroy me for worshiping silver and gold, trying to get rich. When you're trying to get rich, that's what you're doing. You're worshiping silver and gold, When you're trying to get bare wives, you're worshiping woman, lust, vanity. Oh, God's not really gonna kill me for that. God's not really gonna kill me for a little bit of adultery. Yes, he is gonna kill you. It's that serious, right? As the Most High say, he give no man license to sin. Um, so why else the king supposed to be doing this?
Verse number 20, that his heart be not lifted up above his brethren, and that he turn not aside from the commandment to the
Mm-hmm.
right hand or to the left,
Mm-hmm.
to the end that he may prolong his days in his kingdom,
Mm-hmm.
he and his children in the
Mm-hmm.
midst of Israel.
Come on now. So spiritually, remember, we're kings and priests. This is talking about us men, principally, man. Be in this word so that your heart, meaning your mind, is not lifted up above your brethren. Stay in the word so you could learn to be humble. Keep the commandments. Love thy neighbor as thyself. You know, if you're having difficulty, write it down and put it on your wall, man. Ask God to give you humility if you're too proud. The Most High say for you to keep yourself humble and for you to prolong your days in the kingdom. You and your children. So if you're not getting into the word and you become lifted up above your brethren, right? You will not prolong your days in the kingdom of the Most High. You're gonna return to your own vomit. You and your children gonna suffer. You guys not gonna make it. Thus saith Yahweh. Right? So this is the standard for leaders, man. Leaders have to set a good example, right? You know, the last of which, you know, is being in this word, man, and keeping yourself humble. That's the king, right? So this is not new when the Prince of the Universe comes and talks about humility. It was written aforetime. What I'm saying is not new. But will the stiff-necked people of Israel obey the words of Yahweh, right? Or will they get caught up and sifted with the sieve of vanity, right? Looks, uniforms, big gold chains, big congregations, fancy graphics. Is Israel going to get caught up and sifted with the sieve of vanity? Or is Israel going to keep the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High in humility? Time will tell, right? Okay. So let's move on to the next section. We'll probably go until 3:30 and then we'll close up for part 2. All right. So in this section, in the first section, as a recap, we looked at the Most High standard for the leaders, right? Now we're going to look at how to recognize wicked leaders. Now that we know the standard, we're going to look at how to recognize wicked leaders, right? So the first thing you need to remember is that wicked leaders are often priests and elders. Wicked leaders are often priests and elders. You know, I should make a t-shirt that says, beware the priest, you know, because that's what it is, right? Let's go into the word. Number 16. Watch this. Number 16. Beware the priest. Go ahead.
Start from verse 1.
Yeah.
This is the book of Numbers, chapter 16, verse number 1. Now Korah, the son of Izhar, the son of Kohath, the son of Levi, and Dathan, and Abiram, the son of Eliab, and On, the son of Peleth, sons of Reuben, took men. And they rose up before Moses with certain of the children of Israel,
Mm-hmm.
250 princes of the assembly,
Right?
famous in the congregation, men of
Mhm.
renown.
Okay, so stop right there. So Korah, the son of Izhar, the son of Kohath, the son of Levi. Korah is a Levite. So this Levite come with some of the sons of Reuben and some of the children of Israel, not just anybody, 250 rulers they came with out of the assembly. These men, it says, were famous in the congregation. They were men of renown. So 250 men of renown, led by a priest, come up against Moses. Go ahead.
And they gathered themselves together against Moses and against Aaron, and said unto them, Ye take too much upon you, seeing all the congregation are holy, every one
Mhm.
of them, and the Yahweh is among them. Wherefore then lift ye up yourself above the congregation of Yahweh.
Right. So you hear what they said? Hey, listen, the whole congregation is holy. Yeah, why you guys special? That's basically what they're saying. Go ahead.
And when Moses heard it, he fell upon his face.
No, Moses got angry and started blasting them.
He fell upon his face,
The man fall on his face and do what?
and he
Most
spake.
like, huh?
Go ahead, sorry.
No, go ahead, brother.
And he spake unto Korah and unto all his company, saying, Even tomorrow Yahweh will show who are his and who is holy, and will cause him to come near unto him. Even him who he hath chosen will he cause to come near unto him.
Before you read on, Moses did not puff up his chest, raise up his voice, and get vexed. It says Moses fell upon his face. If you know anything about that phrase, it means to bow down. It means to bow down, brothers and sisters. So when the 250 man, remember Moses was the most humble man on the planet at this time. So they come up against Moses, Moses bowed down and Moses said, tomorrow Yahweh will show who are his and who is holy. He didn't puff up his chest. He said, to God will show tomorrow from a bowed down position. Right? Go ahead.
Verse number 6. This do, take you censer, Korah and all his company, and put fire therein, and put incense in them before Yahweh tomorrow. And it shall be that the man whom Yahweh doth choose, he shall be holy. Yea, ye take too much upon you, ye sons of Levi.
So the same way they said to him, hey, you guys are taking too much upon you, Aaron and Moses. Moses said, you taking too much upon you, you sons of Levi. You're taking too heavy of a burden upon you, you sons of Levi. Right? The priest's sons family. Right? Go ahead.
And Moses said unto Korah, Hear I pray you, ye sons of Levi, seemeth it but a small thing unto you, that the God of Israel hath separated you from the congregation of Israel, to bring you near to himself, to do the service of the tabernacle of the Lord, of Yahweh, and to stand before the congregation to minister unto them.
So stop right there. He says, hey, so you guys think it's an easy thing that the Most High separated you from the rest of the congregation of Israel? You guys are special already. You guys think this is a light thing? You think he does this for just anyone? Right? He says, you guys are keeping the service of the tabernacle of the Most High, and you're standing before the congregation to serve the Most High, bringing the shewbread and like the incense, and you guys are in the temple all the time. Do you think that that's a light thing, a small thing? You think that's not important? That's what Moses said to them, right? Go ahead.
And he hath brought thee near to him, and all thy brethren, the son of Levi, with thee, and seek ye the priesthood also.
You see that? They're not satisfied with the service that the Most High give them. So they're seeking the priesthood also. You know what? We're not satisfied with just keeping the temple, and offering these sacrifices before the Most High. We need to be in charge. Sound like some real Israelites to me. Everybody want to be the HNIC. Nobody content with just serving, right? Let me qualify that. The men that the Most High put in leadership, many of these men not satisfied with the little office that the Most High give them, which is not a little office. Anytime the Most High entrusts you with His people, that's a big responsibility. But no, they want more, right? They probably, hearing the name of Moses. Oh, Moses is so great, Moses, Moses, and they're like, but what? We're great too, Who knows? Maybe some jealousy get in there. They're like, no, 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 no. These guys, no, no, no. These guys are taking on too much, right? We gotta get that because the Most High separated us, right? Said you're seeking the priesthood also, right? Go ahead.
For which cause both thou and all thy company are gathered together against Yahweh. And what is Aaron, that ye murmur against him? And Moses sent to call Dathan and Abiram, the sons of Eliab, which said, we will not come up.
Right. So notice two things. He said these guys, it's not him they're coming up against. He's like, you guys are coming up against the Most High. And he's like, who's Aaron that you guys are even murmuring against Aaron? Like, I don't get it. All right. So, and then, he goes and calls these guys and they said, we're not going nowhere. Go ahead.
Is it a small thing that thou hast brought us up out of the land that floweth with milk and honey, to kill us in the wilderness, except thou make thyself altogether a prince over us? Moreover, thou hast brought us into a land that flows with milk and honey, or given us inheritance of field and vineyard. Wilt thou put out the eyes of these men? We will not come up. And Moses was very wroth, and said unto Yahweh, respect not thou their offering. I have not taken one ass from them, neither have I hurt one of them. And Moses said unto Korah, be thou and all thy company before the Yahweh, thou and day, and Aaron tomorrow.
Right. Wait, hold on right there. Stop right there. Stop right there. So, and what these guys say to Moses. So, Dathan and Abiram, right? They said, listen, man, you brought us out of Egypt, right? Uh, where we had it good, just to kill us in the wilderness, right? Actually, to give us a choice, die in the wilderness or make me the ruler over you guys. This is what Dathan and Abiram said. That's the only reason Moses brought them into the wilderness, to kill them there or to rule over them, you know? And they said, oh, well, you said you're bringing us to a land of milk and honey. Where is it, basically? Right? And he's like, well, you're going to juke out our eyes now? We're not coming up. Because he called all these men that rebel against him up. It's like, oh, you're going to put out their eyes? We're not coming to get our eyes put out. Right? Because they're saying to themselves, like, yo, Moses is an oppressor. That's what they're thinking to themselves. This guy's trying to oppress us. Right? So Moses get extra vexed. And then he said to Yahweh, Yahweh, don't respect these man's offerings. Because this is straight wickedness. Right? I haven't taken a single thing from them, right? I haven't taken a single thing from them. You see that? How many leaders could say that today, just as a sidebar? He said, I haven't taken a single thing from these guys. And I haven't heard a single one of them, but yet they coming up against me, right? Go ahead.
And take every man his censer, and put incense in it, and bring ye before Yahweh every man his censer, 250 censers, thou also, and Aaron, each of you his censer. And they took every man his censer, and put fire in it, and laid incense thereon, and stood in the door of the tabernacle of the congregation with Moses and Aaron.
Mm-hmm.
And Korah gathered all the congregation against them unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation.
Right.
And the glory of Yahweh appeared unto all the congregation.
Okay, so stop right there, right? So this is the censer, right? In case people don't know, right? Is we they thief this from, man, right? These damn devils in the Catholic Church, is we they stole this from, man, where we have our incense and, we're offering fire before the Most High, because the Most High like his incense, he like his thing to smell nice. Look at that, right? Let's see here. Oh, what happened? There we go, right? This is the censer. He's like, bring your censer, man. Bring your censer and, put the incense in it and, come and offer that fire before the Most High, right? Right? There it is. Satan censers, man, with the crosses on them. Okay, go ahead, brother.
And Yahweh spake unto Moses and unto Aaron, saying, separate yourselves from among this congregation, that I may consume them in a moment. And they fell upon their faces and said, O God, the God of the spirits of all flesh, shall one man sin, and wilt thou be wroth with all the congregation? And Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying, speak unto the congregation, saying, get you up from about the tabernacle of Korah, Dathan and Abiram. And Moses rose up and went unto Dathan and Abiram.
You gotta come closer to the mic, brother. You gotta come closer to the mic.
Sorry, can you hear me better?
Yeah.
And Moses rose up and went unto Dathan and Abiram, and the elders of Israel followed him. And he spake unto the congregation, saying, depart, I pray you, from the tents of these wicked men.
Of these what?
Of these wicked men.
Right.
And touch nothing of theirs, lest ye be consumed in all their sins.
Go ahead.
So they gat up from the tabernacle of Korah, Dathan and Abiram, and on every side. And Dathan and Abiram came out and stood in the door of their tents, and their wives and their sons and their little children. And Moses said, hereby ye shall know that Yahweh hath sent me to do all these works, for I have not done them of mine own mind.
Right.
If these men die in common death of all men, or if they be visited after the visitation of all men, then Yahweh has not sent me.
Right.
But if Yahweh make a new thing, and the earth open her mouth and swallow them up,
right,
and all that appertain unto them, and they go down quick into the pit, then shall understand that these men have provoked Yahweh.
All right.
And it came to pass, as he made an end of speaking all these words, that the ground clave asunder that was under them,
So stop right there. So Moses said, "Hey, listen, if the Most High didn't send me, let these men die a natural death and let them get a natural visitation. But if the Most High sent me, right, um, uh, then let him do a new thing. Watch the curse. Watch the curse that's coming out of Moses' mouth. Hey, if the Most High sent me, sorry, if the Most High let the earth open her mouth and swallow these guys up with everything that they own, and they go down quickly into the pit, then you gonna know, yeah, that these guys provoke Yahweh, right? Go ahead.
And the whole
Read
earth
from 31 again,
from
please.
31. And it came to
Yeah.
pass, as he made an end of speaking all these words, that the ground clave asunder that was under them,
Right.
and the earth opened her mouth and swallowed them up, and their houses, and all the men that are that appertained unto Korah, and all their goods, they and all that appertained to them, went down alive into the pit, and the earth closed upon them, and they perished from among the congregation. And all Israel that were round about them fled at the cry of them, for they said, lest the earth swallow us up also. And there came out a fire from Yahweh and consumed the 250 men that offered incense.
Right.
And Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying, speak unto Eleazar, the son of Aaron, the priest, that he take up the censer out of the burning, and scatter thou the fire yonder, for they are hollowed.
Right. So after the Most High killed these men by making the earth swallow them up, and then he killed the 250 that came up against Moses and Aaron, he said, "Hey, grab the censer out of the fire there, because those things holy." Right? Those guys were not holy, so I burned them up. But my censers, yeah, get my censers out of the fire, please. Right? Go ahead.
The censers of these sinners against their own soul. Let them make them broad plates for a covering of the altar, for they offered them before Yahweh. Therefore, they are holy.
Right.
And they shall be a sign unto the children of Israel.
Right.
And Eleazar the priest took the brazen censers wherewith they that were burnt had offered, and they were made broad plates for a covering of the altar.
Yeah.
To be a memorial unto the children of Israel, that no stranger which is not of the seed of Aaron come near to offer incense before the Lord, that he be not as Korah and as his company, as the Lord said to him by the hand of Moses.
That's it, right? That's all I want on that. Right? So this priest, right, came up with other priests, man, and 250 leaders to take over Moses. And the Most High burned them up and take their censers, melt it down, and make a cover for the what is here? The altar, right? And make covering plates for the altar, right? Because the metal was hallowed and holy, and they were not, right? One more account on that, right? Uh, Wicked leaders are often priests and elders. Let's go to Ezekiel 9 and read verse 6. Ezekiel 9.
It's the book of Ezekiel, chapter 9. And start at verse 4, you said?
Verse 6.
Verse 6. This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 9, and verse number 6. Slay utterly old and young, both maids and little children, and women.
I'm sorry, brother. I'm sorry, brother. Start at the beginning. Start at the beginning. Yeah. Huh?
Verse number 1.
Yeah, start from verse number 1 and let me see. And
Just let me know when to stop.
yeah, okay, go ahead.
Okay, this is book of Ezekiel, chapter 9, starting from verse 1. He cried also in my ears with a loud voice, saying, cause them that have charge over the city to draw near, even every man with his destroying weapon in his hand.
Hmm.
And behold, 6 men came from the way of the higher gates, which lieth towards the north, and every man a slaughter weapon in his hand.
Go
And
ahead.
one man among them was clothed with linen, with a writer's inkhorn by his side.
Hmm.
And they went in and stood beside the brazen altar. And the
Right.
glory of Yahweh, of the God of Israel, was gone up from the cherub. From the cherubs, whereupon he was, to the
Hmm.
threshold of the house.
Right. That's the threshold of the house. That's the porch there at the top of the stairs, right? That space before you go into the temple. Go ahead.
And he called to the man clothed with linen,
Hmm.
which had the writer's inkhorn by his side.
Right. Now I'm led to believe that that's Yahweh Shai. But as of this moment, I can't prove that, right? When I see the white linen or the linen, oftentimes it's Yahweh Shai. Well, when you see the linen and the gold belt, that's Yahweh Shai. Now here it just mentions the linen, so I'm led to believe it's Yahweh Shai, but that's neither here nor there. Go ahead.
And Yahweh said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof.
Right.
And to the others he said in mine hearing, go ye after him through the city and smite,
And do what?
and smite.
So first he sets a mark. Hold on. First he sets a mark upon the foreheads of all the people that sigh and cry for all the abominations that are being done in the city. What was happening is that Israel was just doing bare wickedness in Jerusalem, right? And so the Most High said, "Hey, listen, that man with the inkhorn, let him go put a mark on the foreheads of all the people who are basically speaking against all the abominations that they're doing." If you read the previous chapter, what was happening is Israel was worshiping other gods in the temple. They were turning their back on the temple and worshiping the sun, right? And many other abominations they were doing, right? Go ahead.
And to the others he said in mine hearing, go ye after him through the city and smite.
Mm-hmm.
Let not your eye spare, neither
Right,
have ye pity.
right.
Slay utterly old and young, both
Mm-hmm.
maids and little children, and
Mm-hmm.
women.
Mm-hmm.
But come not near any man upon whom is the mark,
Right.
and being at my sanctuary.
And what?
Sorry, and begin at my sanctuary.
And begin where?
At my sanctuary.
The Most High said, begin at my temple. Start killing all the wicked people from the temple onward. Now watch what happens. Go ahead.
Then they began at the ancient men which were before the house.
They began at who?
At the ancient men which were before the house. And he
Right.
said unto them,
Mm-hmm.
defile the house and
Right.
fill the courts with the slain.
Right.
Go ye forth. And they
Mm-hmm.
went forth and slew in the city.
So stop right there. When they started slaughtering, they started with the elders and they started at the sanctuary of the Most High. Right? All the elders that were chilling, it says before the house, which means in front. They're chilling in front of the sanctuary. So you're gonna think these guys are righteous. You go up there, bare old men chilling every day. You're going to put up your prayers or you're bringing in gifts, and the old men are hanging out outside the sanctuary. You're like, yeah, those are the righteous men. Meanwhile, These guys are filthy. They don't have the mark on their forehead, right? And what I believe is the angels kill them first. The elders, right? And this is not unprecedented. I want to look at maybe let me see here. I want to look at maybe two more verses, maybe three more scriptures, and we'll close up for today, right? Give me so we finished the first part, right? The wicked leaders are often priests and elders, right? Um, let's add to that. Mm, 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 mm. No, they're often priests and elders. So now we're gonna look at uh like maybe one or two of the attitudes, right, of wicked leaders, and it's a perfect segue from this particular scripture that's showing you that the Most High killed the ancient men, the old men, in front of the temple first, right? So that goes to show you a lot of times the wickedness is starting with the priests, and it's only natural because if they're the so-called shepherds and the people are going off, chances are they went off first. Not chances are, they went off first, you know, right? Actually, yes, chances are they went off first, because sometimes they didn't go off first, but they allow the going off, as in the example of Adam, right? As in the example of Saul, right?
The elders are supposed to be setting an example, just like Eleazar, right?
Yeah, they're supposed to set the
Immaculate.
example. And when the people go off, they're supposed to straighten them out, you know? So let's see here. Matthew 23, right? Matthew 23.
And from where?
Let me see what we have here. Well, let's go from 1 and we'll just read to verse 5. I'll break down verse 5 and we'll wrap up.
Okay. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 23, and verse number 1. Then spake Yahushua to the multitude and to his disciples, saying, the scribes and the Pharisees sit in Moses' seat,
Right.
and therefore, whatsoever they bid you observe, that observe and do. But do not eat after their works, for they say and do not.
Right. So that's plain. Yahushua said, listen, these guys are sitting in Moses' seat. They have certain authority. So do what they tell you because they're telling you to keep the law. But don't follow their works. Don't do the things that you see them do because they tell you what to do, but they themselves are not doing it. They're not practicing the righteousness that they're holding you to. Right? Go ahead.
For they bind heavy burdens and grievous to be borne,
Right?
and lay them on men's shoulders, but
Mm-hmm.
they themselves will not move them with one of their fingers.
So that's plain. That's literally what I just said. Yahweh Shai broke it down. Go ahead.
But all their works they do for sorry, but all their works they do for to be seen of men. They make broad their phylacteries
Mm-hmm.
and enlarge the borders of their garments.
So stop right there. I just want to break down this part. What do wicked leaders do? What is the attitudes of how we can recognize wicked leaders? Number one, they're often elders and priests, Number two, here are some of the things that they do. Wicked leaders do their works to be seen by men. Wicked leaders do their works to be seen by men. All right. It says, I want to break this down real quick. Watch this. Says they make broad or make large their phylacteries. What are phylacteries, right? Well, that's their 40, it has a couple different meanings based on the context. It can mean they're fortified places. It could mean their watches, meaning the people that guard their exorbitant like possessions, right? Compounds often. It could mean their watchers that they make broad, like a large set of group of people they make broad, or their amulets. Now it talks about a certain box that they used to walk around with that had scriptures in them and stuff, and they say that is their amulets. But in present day, do we see um Israelite leaders that are making large their fortified places, their watches, meaning their guards? Do we see Israelites that are making broad their watchers, the number of people that they have that are basically defending and watching their congregations, right? Do we see Israelite leaders making large their amulets, brothers and sisters? Right? All this is in Israel, right? Let's look at this word phylacteries real quick, just for edification. Where it is, phylacteries, where is it? Right? Phylacteria, right? A guard case, okay? They say here a guard case, but it's beyond that, right? And you're gonna see here. Let's see what helps word study says. To keep preserved, phylacteries, small leather cases containing 4 key passages of scripture. That's what the Jewish do, all right? All right, that's why they're talking about that. Strapped to the outside of the left arm between the shoulder and the elbow. Phylacteries rest over the heart during prayer, etc., etc., right? That's not what we're looking for. What we're looking for here is what the Thayer's Greek lexicon gives us. A fortified place provided with a garrison. So a fortified place that actually has like a barracks, right? A station for a guard or garrison, a preservative or safeguard, an amulet. Okay. Let's see here. I think that's all I want there. Just to show you guys those particular uh contexts within the scriptures. All right. So those contexts are there. Let's look at it. Let's go to Matthew 26, right? And this is why I say this is talking about when it says they make broad their phylacteries, it's talking about them making broad their watches, their number of guards, okay, that watch their empire essentially, right? And you're gonna find when we read these scriptures, it's gonna show you, one of the priests' palace, right, that he had guards watching, right? So the most I tell you, this is what wicked leaders do, right? They increase in their possessions, right? And their extravagance, the extravagant living, right? You know. So let's go to Matthew 26 and we'll read 57 and 58. Matthew 26, 57 and 58.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 26, and verse number 57. And they that had laid hold on Yahushua led him away to Caiaphas, the high priest, where the scribes and the elders were assembled. But Peter followed him afar off, unto the high priest's palace.
Onto the high priest, what?
Unto the high priest's palace,
Right?
and went in and sat with the servants to see the end.
So not only did the high priest have a palace, right? He also had servants there, man. Caiaphas, the high priest. What you doing with a palace? When the prince of the universe didn't even have a house to call his own, man. Foxes have holes, birds have nests, but the Son of Man have no place to lay his head. That's the real high priest. But you, the one just holding the office on earth, that's supposed to be serving the people, have big palace and servants. Where you bring your Hawashai, to beat him up, to beat him up after you guys plot to kill him. As part of your plot, as part of your plot to kill him. You just bring him to the palace. Right? Caiaphas didn't go get him, he sent guards. You see? Let's go to Mark 14. Sorry, I think I missed this one part here. It also said no. Okay, let's go to Mark. Mark 14:54.
Sure.
Say 54. Mark 14:54, yeah.
This is the book of Mark, chapter 14, verse 54. And Peter followed him afar off, even into the palace of the high priest, and sat with the servants and warmed himself at the fire.
Right. So here in the Greek it says Peter from afar off followed him as far as within the court. The high priest place was so big it had a court, man. I mean, I don't know any. So go ahead. You're gonna say something?
Priest, no.
Okay. I was just gonna say I don't know any Israelite whose house is so big they have a court. You know? So they're in the court of the high priest at his palace. And it says here he was sitting with the high periton. Okay? The high periton. Underlings, servants. All right. Let's see what we have here in the Thayers. Under row, subordinate, anyone who serves as hands, servants. Okay. So again, proving that there were servants, man. Also called officers in the high priest palace. Now, where have we heard that before? Where have we heard before of a leader being served by officers? Right? Let's go back to Matthew 23. Right? Matthew 23. I'll tell you, I mean, IUIC does it, ISUPK does it, right? I'm pretty sure there's others. These are the only two that I know. They have officers and soldiers and deacons and bishops and so forth.
Yeah, I think most places do it.
There you go. I can't think of any other examples. Those are the only two I know, but I'm sure there's others that do the same damn thing.
I think Sakari does it.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they call themselves captains and
that's right. Captain this and that's right.
Guerrilla Hebrew is Chief Alazar or something like that.
There you go.
But most of them go by, like, I guess Yeah, they go by they do that. Most groups do that
right?
with people in different positions.
Yeah. Whereas the Messiah said, "Yeah, brethren," you know. I didn't hear nobody saying, "Hey, Officer Paul, man, Bishop Paul, Deacon Peter." They just call these guys Peter and Paul and Matthew, and they call them by their names. And they weren't making us think about it either. Hey, call me Bishop. Call me Deacon. Call me Officer. Call me. You understand what I'm saying? That's not in the scriptures, you know? And it's off. Okay, real quick. So we were in Matthew 23, and I believe we're at verse 5. I just want to break down the last piece of this, and uh, we'll call it. The deeds of them they do in order to be seen by men. It says they brought in their phylacteries, which we covered, all right, and enlarge their crespida, okay, fringe or tassel, all right. So let's see if we can find some examples of people broadening their fringes or tassels. The Most High said, these wicked leaders, man, that's what they be doing. These scribes and Pharisees, straight out the mouth of Yahweh Shai. Where is it? Let me go straight here so you can see red letter. Straight out the mouth of Yahweh Shai. What you're gonna find as we go through this Matthew 23 is Yahweh Shai is badding up the Pharisees terribly and telling you, all the wicked things that they're doing. So if we're seeing these same things in our leaders today around Israel, guess what? They're practicing the same wickedness because these things are evil, you know. He says here, but their works they do to be seen of men. That's a problem, right? Do we see any of our congregations doing works to be seen of men? Doing works and posting it in videos so you can see them cleaning up the neighborhood or feeding our people? That's off. The Most I say when you're doing good works, don't let your left hand know what your right hand is doing. You understand what I'm saying? Right? It says they and enlarge the borders of their garments, right here in the translation. But in the Greek, it tells you that they enlarge their tassels, okay, and enlarge their tassels. So let's see who we can see with enlarged tassels, right? Let's see who we can see here with some large fringes on, right? Now, brothers and sisters, I'm bringing this out because all truth must come out, right? These are serious matters. And I could cut myself swinging this sword. But if I be cut, so be it. But it will not go unspoken of, right? Where are you going with the oversized fringes? Where are you going with the oversized fringes? Right? Bishop Nathaniel, Israel United in Christ. The last thing was him and his other boys. There's General Yohana from ISUPK, right? With his huge fringes all over his garment here, right? I mean, I gotta point these things out, like all on the man's scarf, right? I gotta point these things out because at the end of the day, the Most High is giving us game on how to recognize when people are doing foolishness. Big Remphan star on the belt, right? Which, man, ton of people in Israel just don't pay attention. You tell them this thing is wicked, and they're just not with it. It's all good. The Most High gonna judge, right? Here's another brother from ISUPK with the oversized fringes, no border of purple either, on which is inconsequential. But again, the oversized fringes on the clothing again, man. Star of Remphan all over the place, and just madness, right? Give me six real quick, and then that's it. Go ahead. Matthew 23 and 6. So we got receipts, man, for the oversized fringes, man. Right? Go ahead. Not only are they oversized, they're all over everything. You know. Hey, the Most Yahweh Shai himself out of his mouth say that they love to do that. These scribes and Pharisees, right? And don't get it twisted, we got them today. And some of them have you guys' mind in a bind, right? But I'm going to show you the scriptures to be able to recognize whether or not your mind is a bind and to free yourself from vanity. Give me six here. Brother Chris, if you're speaking, I can't hear you.
Sorry, I was muted. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 23, and verse number 6. And love the utmost rooms at feasts, and the chief seats in the synagogues.
That's it. They love the uppermost rooms at feasts and the chief seats in the synagogue. And this word synagogue is really assembly. They love now the chief place at the banquets. Now, do I even have to show that our leaders always sit in the chief places in the banquets? Do I even have to show this, brothers and sisters? I don't. Every congregation does the same thing, right? Every major congregation, I'll say, does the very same thing. They always have a table separate for the leaders, right? I'm pretty sure I've sat at these tables, right? It's not to be so. We are not lords over the people. It says, and the first seats, and it says they love them. They love it. Some people don't you dare try to sit in their seat. Right? They'll fight you over that seat, man. I mean, there's this one elder that basically did his best to get me out of a chief seat that I was sitting in. I wasn't even in a chief seat, I was just reading. But to him, it was a chief seat, and he did everything in his power to get me out of that seat. I didn't care about that seat. I cared about teaching the people the scriptures, reading for the teacher, man. That seat didn't mean anything to me, you know. But some love the chief place at the banquets and the first seats in the assembly. This word synagogue is synagogias, okay, an assembly of persons, it says here. Here, let me try and pull it up a little bit bigger, right, for you to see. A bringing together, gathering as of fruits, a contracting, an assemblage together, okay, an assembly of men. And we got here Revelation 2:9 and 3:9, using the exact same word, right? Which is in this case, synagogue, synagogue. All right. What do we got here? When they bring you before the synagogues and the rulers and the authorities, not be anxious how or what you shall reply, etc. Right? Luke 12 and verse 11. Okay. Synagogue here, same context. Again, it's an assembly. All right. That's simply what the word means. All right. And they take it and put it upon these buildings that Satan's assembly builds and puts his star on and says that they're God's holy people, right? So these are some of the ways that we can, recognize, wicked leaders. see here. Give me a second. Yeah, right. They love those chief seats, right? They do their works to be seen by men, right? They make broad and large their palaces essentially, right? They big up themselves basically at the expense of the people, right? Um, oh, I didn't even show the amulets. Um, you know what? I don't even want to get into that. I don't want to get into that. We'll get into that next week if anything. All right. So that's it, family. Just as a quick review. So recognizing wicked leaders, they're often priests and elders. They do their works to be seen by men, right? They broaden themselves and their possessions at the expense of the people. Um, they enlarge their tassels, and they love the chief seats in the assembly. They love the greetings in the marketplace, right? Um, and they love essentially their various titles, man. You know, that's the stuff that they're in love with, man. Not the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High and the position of a servant, right? So next week we'll continue to study and break this down even more. Thanks to everybody who's watching online. Peace to you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the lesson. If you did, definitely either subscribe to our page to get more lessons or, um, what do you call it? Subscribe to our newsletter actually to get the most important videos and information directly in your email, all right? Because a lot of these videos do not remain public, but I will send them in the newsletter. And that newsletter is bit.ly/teach me truth. All right. So all sincere, may the Most High bless you. And we're gonna hop off of the online real quick. And the people who are in